Hey, it's Arlesha. I'm a purpose-driven mover and shaker who embarked on a sabbatical for the first time in my career. Welcome to my first podcast. This season, I'm talking about what it means to be on sabbatical, to recharge your life, career, and purpose. Throughout each episode, I'll share gems and insights experienced from my first sabbatical journey in the hopes it'll inspire you to harmonize your life and ambitions. Let's get into it. Just like you can plan and strategize your career, you can plan and strategize your sabbatical. As I shared in my previous episode, my sabbatical was 12 years in the making. Here's a nugget for you to keep as you pursue your ambitions and aspirations. It is possible to plan for a sabbatical way in advance. You can map the point in your career journey that you wish to take sabbatical. You can save money or create a fund for it. You can strategically even do microsabbaticals, where every few years you use your PTO hours for a full immersion within a shortened period of time, ideally a month if you can. There's no rule. As for me in my house, I knew I wanted the multi-month format of a sabbatical. If I had my way, I would have taken a sabbatical for a full 12 months, but that's a goal for the future. In my case, I had a separate sabbatical fund. I'll share a story, an example. In my most recent role working for SC30 Inc., founded by four-time NBA champion and unanimous MVP Stephen Curry, I had all intentions of making a move out to the Bay Area after a year and a half once the team and company got settled into an office space. It would have marked the first time in my career that I moved out of the Miami, Florida area, had it not been for the COVID-19 epidemic that halted a move out to New York City in 2020. And if you know anything about the Bay Area, you know about that cost of living. With a move forthcoming to a location that had a higher cost of living, I set aside a fund just for living and lifestyle. 'Cause Arlesha likes nice things. She likes to travel and fine dining, all the nice things. I knew that coming from Florida, where we don't pay state taxes, I'd take a bit of a hit. So my fund was a strategic and intentional plan for a buffer once I got settled into the Bay Area. Well, long story really short, I decided not to make the move out to San Francisco anyway, and instead embarked on sabbatical. That meant I had a whole fund readily accessible. So what would have gone to my schmancy Bay Area living space ended up becoming my sabbatical fund. My strategy worked out greatly, but either way, it reinforced the importance of planning and saving ahead in order to invest in self-rejuvenation. And it's a lesson I'll continue to carry on for the remainder of my career and life. A saving funds that I'll keep investing into for the future is definitely my plan should the opportunity present itself again to take another sabbatical. Now, a sabbatical isn't all about using your funds and your money for traveling and relaxation, eating bountiful meals and sipping wonderful wine and meditating atop mountains under opaque skies. All of which I did and surely will continue to do. It's possible to have a productive, transformative time with yourself in the comfort of your home or locations in close proximity. With the time off, it provides much time to sit and intentionally and thoughtfully plan for transitions and pivots, y'all. Both the time and money invested is worth it. Here are some ways you can strategize your sabbatical. Use your PTO and use all of it. Don't leave any hours behind. If you have unlimited PTO, even better. You can use your PTO for what I call a microsabbatical. That's a shortened version of a multi-month break. I break that down some more in my blog counterpart of this podcast. Number 2, leverage workplace benefits such as paid family leave if you can. Some folks are able to take 3 months off because of their FMLA benefits. Here's the thing, I'm not an HR specialist, so please reference your employee guidebooks for that one. Number 3, negotiate your sabbatical in advance. Remember that negotiation doesn't only equate to salary. There's other benefits you could raise up, like additional PTO hours that you can allocate towards a micro sabbatical. Obviously, When it comes to workplace benefits, you'll want to determine whether your current workload and responsibilities can be managed in your absence, either through delegation or temporary arrangements. So keep that in mind. Anyway, besides, PTO now stands for Prepare the Others. If you're fortunate enough to find a role within a company that prioritizes mental health and self-care, you can find less tension in your negotiations. Even better for you. Now, you might ask, when do you know you'd benefit from taking a sabbatical? My answer is, life will tell you when it's time for a break, period. It's not complicated. Listen to yourself. Follow your intuition. Follow your desires and your readiness for a break. There are scenarios in which I believe it would be beneficial for you to prioritize considering a sabbatical so that you can take the necessary downtime to rejuvenate, reflect, and reposition yourself for personal growth. Here's some examples. 1, when your career hits a 10-year mark. After the initial 10-year interval, perhaps you might want to incorporate a sabbatical reoccurrence every 3 to 5 years. I wish I knew to take a sabbatical when I hit my 10 years in the sport industry. Again, I didn't have a reference. I didn't see anyone else in the office or in my industry really taking sabbaticals, but it's something I wish I knew. Number 2, when the market is restabilizing. Consider the current market conditions and industry trends to gauge whether it's a favorable time to take a break from your career, taking into account potential opportunities or challenges upon your return. When the market is on a downturn, you might as well take a sabbatical. Number 3, when you need to focus on your overall health and well-being or mental health. It's a good time to incorporate a sabbatical as part of your proactive wellness plan. Outside of your career, in other cases in which I'd emphasize planning for sabbatical is if your life situation entails the following: the caring of an elder or aging parent, being the sole responsibility of a sick family member or kids. And again, I can't stress it enough, the need for mental well-being. If your life situation entails the caring of others, you need time and rest for yourself between all of that caretaking. And a sabbatical can offer you just that. The hope is that you won't spend your entire sabbatical in caretaker mode, but that you can dedicate the time specifically and solely for your rejuvenation. Obviously, it's easier for those who are entrepreneurs, owning their own businesses and practices. As part of your long-term strategy on when you take a sabbatical, you'll want to ensure you have clientele who value self-care and the notion of what it means to be on sabbatical. My sabbatical was 12 years in the making, and partly thanks to that lifestyle fund that went unused. I'm strategizing and planning towards my next one already, and you can too. If you like today's episode, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on new episodes from this season and future installments of Hey, It's Arlesha. For more in-depth insights and gems, you can subscribe to my blog counterpart of this podcast. The link can be found in the description below. Until next time, y'all, I am sincerely yours, Arlesha.